Good afternoon, everybody. It's your friend Cheap Ludes. I know I took a couple days off. Just give me a break. I was doing a bunch of house stuff. I got a new end table that looks sick, by the way. It it's hard to really explain the vibes of my new hallway table. I know you guys are probably tired of watching my team content and hear me talking about like new furniture that I bought for my apartment. But you know what? This is an exciting step for me, dude. I haven't really gotten a chance to like shop for my own furniture in a long period of time, and I'm washed now. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Speckled kind of reminds me of like I would say normally my vibe is like early 90s cocaine dealer. This one's like a mid 90s cocaine dealer type vibe. Really excited about it. Maybe I'll show it off on stream or something. Anyways, let's talk about what we're really here for, which is the new endgame packs. Endgame Wilt Chamberlain. Honestly, I would be stoked about this if, I thought I was going to get this card in any way, shape, or form, or I thought there was a chance for me to get this card at all, which I don't believe that there is. Personally, I don't think I'll be getting this card, but whatever. We also got Tatum and JR. This is kind of a lackluster pack drop in comparison. Like, even in comparison to last Tuesday's drop, this is kind of just like a lackluster effort from 2K. You can tell they're kind of just like running out of big names, or they're trying to save like your Ben Simmons, your Tacos, your Yaos, etc. For the end. But I mean, that was bound to happen when they were dropping MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Like, it was gonna happen. We also got Blake Griffin. These two guys do not look the same at all. We got Blake Griffin. The one thing I'm really interested in when it comes to Blake Griffin is why they chose the pirate ship for the bottom of the card art. I mean, I guess, is that what the Clipper is? I've always actually been curious as to what the Clippers were. Is that like a ship thing? I don't know. I've never really thought about it like that. Like, you got to remember when I grew up watching the Clippers, it was like Elton Brand and like Darius Miles and Corey Maggette. Anyways, that team, which was awesome, Lamar Odom, one of my favorite teams of all time, they weren't exactly synonymous with like swashbuckling and like seafaring, So it's like I never really thought about the Clippers name, but it actually makes total sense now. Never mind. I like totally understand. Klay Thompson's like whatever. I just like really don't care. I don't think anyone cares about Klay. We'll start with Klay. 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. He does play the point guard, which is kind of cool. I'm curious as to what jump shot they give him, because obviously they're not going to give him Klay Thompson base. I mean, maybe they would, but I feel like because he plays point guard, they'll probably switch bases. I would guess, right? They're going to kind of tweak out his dribble sigs. He's going to have near perfect tendencies anyway. We just got this card June 2nd, so it's like only been a little bit over a month since we got a Klay Thompson, so it's just kind of like whatever. I'm kind of curious what jump shot they're going to give him, though. Like, let me look at some other shooting guards. Like, Drazen got Seth Curry, but he already had that jumper. Ray Allen got Kuzma base, so it's possible we see, like, Kuzma with Oscar upper or something. Yeah, I mean, like, we could see, like, Stackhouse, like, Contavious Caldwell-Pope. There's a lot of different jump shots they give the Invincibles. I just prefer Invincibles in general over Endgames because there's a little bit of a splash of variety that I really enjoy. Klay should be relatively good, but I don't think he's going to be anything special. We have quite a few 6'6" shooting guard point guards at this point, so Blake Griffin should be interesting. What positions does he play? Power forward, small forward, so not any different than the glorious one. We just received this card like a month ago as well. I just feel like there are players that deserve, updated cards besides guys we got like a month ago. Like, where's Jonathan Bender at? Where's Dino Raja? I would take an Invincible Dino right now. Like, that would be fantastic. Stuff like that. But whatever. We got Blake Griffin, 6'10", 6'11" wingspan. I would say there's no way he has his own jump shot base. If I had to guess, Kuzma would make the most sense. We could also see O'Shea. O'Shea, they've been given to a lot of like dunker guys. I think like Zion got O'Shea and stuff, and typically they'll have like similar releases towards the end of the year if they do change them. So yeah, I'm going to go with O'Shea. I think O'Shea makes the most sense, but again, it's just like a slightly more updated version of a card we literally just received, so I can't really be that excited about it. That's just how I feel. Tatum, I mean, 6'8", 6'10" wingspan at the shooting guard. I mean, he might be good. I just don't know. I prefer the Montrezl Harrell base, personally, the one that he had on his Invincible card. That's just my personal opinion. Like, if this Jayson Tatum played shooting guard, I think he would have been great. He just didn't, unfortunately, but I'm just hate End games, I hate them so much. There's just absolutely nothing to be excited about because we know exactly what we're getting. Like we know every single minute detail about these cards before they even drop, and that is so boring, man. I'm so tired of that. Tatum should be okay. Wilt's gonna be good though. 7'1", 8-foot wingspan. He'll be like a top tier power forward. Like he will. The fact that I have to refer to Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest centers to ever lace up in the NBA, and one of the most physically imposing and physically dominant centers to ever lace up in the NBA, and I have to refer to him as a power forward is crazy to me. That's like the state that we're in with this game. Like, that is just such a crazy thing. I mean, I should have noticed that when I was talking about Kareem last week. You know, I'm just referring to him as like, oh, he's going to be one of the best power forwards in the game. But the fact that people don't even play Wilt at center is just so nutty to me. Like, especially if you remember the old My Team experiences. Like, I would say even 2K19, but definitely 2K18 and earlier. Like, Wilt, Kareem, like all these guys played the center position, you know? So it's just weird in retrospect. When, you know, now we're looking at him as just strictly power forwards. Like, no one's probably going to run Wilt at center, which is just crazy. And he's going to be really good, by the way, just due to his player build. He's going to have huge arms. He is going to be a toxically annoying power forward. It's kind of like how we look at Giannis and we only refer to him as a small forward. It's just kind of like weird My Team isms that you don't see anywhere else. You know, it's strange. It's strange for sure. Then we got J.R. Smith, and I mean, realistically, J.R. 6'6". He's not going to be like any different than like MJ or Kobe, which is crazy when you think about it. Like that MJ, Kobe, the two greatest shooting guards of all time, and J.R. Smith are all identical. Like that's just a crazy thing to think of. These are more My Team isms that you just don't expect. Once again, though, yeah, like it doesn't stack up to last Tuesday's drop. Like, yeah, Ja was kind of meh, but like Kareem and Wilt's a wash. But Magic is definitely better than. Yeah, I would say he's better than Tatum. Like as far as like usability at the time, for sure. And then like Larry Bird, you can make a case that like JR and Larry Bird are basically the same because they're both playing at like loaded positions, and no one's running Larry Bird over Wemby. Just kind of like. So I guess for that reason, maybe like JR's a little bit better because it's just like, you know, he's like the same as Michael Jordan and Kobe, I guess. But I don't know, man. I was more excited about Ray Allen than I am any of the cards that we're getting today. Like Ray Allen's more exciting than Klay Thompson for sure. Like Blake Griffin might be pretty good, but at the same coin, he's a 6'10" small forward, which shouldn't be too small. I need to restate this another 100 times, but it's just, yeah. I mean, I guess it's better than Dwayne Wade, I suppose, but like Jimmy Butler, Shaq. I feel like that Tuesday set, we're just going to get one big man and two cards no one cares about from this point forward. And then the Invincibles are just going to be like, who knows, you know? Which I don't mind that necessarily. I just kind of wish that they would, I don't know, man. Just give us more random cards. That's kind of the only thing I've said about this season that I don't particularly like. Is like, where are all the random cards, man? Where are all the random cards? Where are they? Where are all the random players, man? This is the point in the year when you're supposed to be dropping, like, I don't know, Dark Matter Johnny Moore, or like, you know, just whatever random dude you can think of. Like, just drop those guys. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, look at the season 1 set and just start picking like random cards to drop, right? Like, give us a let me see, like a Dark Matter Paul Silas. Throw Paul Silas in the game, you know. Give Dino Raja a card. Give, like, Rolando Blackman a card. Like, LaFonso Ellis should get a new card. Like, I could keep going. Kelly Tripucka, like, Kiki Vanderwee, you know. Like, Bill Cartwright, I don't care. Give him a card, dude. It doesn't matter. Katino Mobley, Cassie Russell, Rick Smith's got one, I guess, so not him necessarily. But, like, you know, just any of these guys. Cedric Ceballos, like... Wally Walker. I don't even know who this guy is, but he's 6'7", plays a 2-guard. Let him rock, you know? Just give us... anyways, let's go look at the market implications. I can't imagine there are very many at all. I have 149,000 MT for tomorrow, so you could say I'm doing A-okay. Like, I'm doing fire, right? We're going to have a nice pack opening where I definitely get things that I want tomorrow. I can just feel it, you know? Now, as far as like the market goes and like what cards are going to be affected by the drop for tomorrow, I really don't know. Like Kareem, maybe a little bit. Like Wilt's gonna have these super gangly arms, which is gonna make him stand out. But I think as far as like power forwards go, for end games, like, and once again, it's just wild that I'm talking about these guys as power forwards in general. But like, there's gonna be a lot of personal preference when it comes to Kareem, when it comes to Shaq, and when it comes to Wilt. Like Shaq's gonna have the diesel to outplayer build. I mean, he's the diesel, obviously. Like he's gonna be a stockier, kind of bigger option. And then Kareem's gonna be the taller of the options, but Wilt's gonna have those arms, dude. So it's gonna be tough. Now, as far as like Tatum, I mean, maybe he affects the price of like Paul George because I think Tatum's like he's 6'8", but he's got a big player build. He looks almost like 6'9", 6'10". Like if you've used Tatum this year, which I'm sure most people have. I could also see like Tim Duncan and like D-Rob going down in price, I guess, because of like Wilt, but honestly, I don't think anyone cares. So maybe we'll see a drop in price for someone like Granger and like, I guess Tatum probably, but once again, he's kind of a rare card. Maybe like Kirilenko will go down a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, like the end game cards are just so incredibly boring that I don't think most people realistically care all that much. So I don't think there's going to be a huge drop off just due to like Tatum existing. Anyone who's going to use Tatum is just going to use Tatum because they like Tatum. They're not going to use Tatum to replace anybody else at this point. And that's kind of the paramount kind of issue with endgames that I think 2K didn't really think too much of, which is like when you make every single card the same, at a certain point, the people who would normally spend money to try to get the new and exciting cards just don't, because why would you? Like if you have Danny Granger or you have Paul George, you're not going to spend money to get Jayson Tatum. There's really no tactical advantage for you to do that. Maybe he moves slightly better because he's a little bit smaller, but like at the end of the day, those guys are going to spend money regardless. But I'm talking about for your average person. Their average person that bought Paul George isn't going to go spend more money to get Tatum. Even it's just kind of pointless, you know? Same thing goes for like the centers. If somebody has Kareem or somebody has Shaq, they're not going to be incentivized to go spend more money to get Wilt. Like you got to make these cards have differences, or else they're just like people aren't going to spend money on it. That's just like the end all be all of it. I know I shouldn't be telling 2K how to exploit us more, but you know, it's just common sense, really. Blake Griffin, I don't think he's really affecting the price of anyone in particular. Like maybe Paolo, I guess, would be a good comparison, but I don't really think anyone cares all that much about Paolo regardless. So yeah, Klay Thompson, I don't foresee him shaking the price of anyone. Like I don't even mean anyone in particular, just like anyone at all. I just don't think anyone cares. Like maybe Drazen Petrovic drops in price a little bit, but that's like all I can really think of. But as always, it's been your friend Cheap Ludes. I'm gonna go listen to like super sad music and like do house chores now. I will be live tomorrow after work. It's gonna be fun. You know, I'm gonna open some packs and such. So if you want to come support that, that'd be cool. If you want to donate to your boy to help me afford to open packs, you can do that as well in the description. There's a donation link. I appreciate everyone who donates. Now, typically, here's the thing. Because it's through PayPal, it usually tells me your full name. Or whatever your PayPal name is. So I don't like to shout those out on videos because that's like it's not cool. So, but just know I see them all and I appreciate you and I know who you are. Sometimes it's hard to connect the name to the YouTube name. So if you want to put in the comments like what your like Twitch name and your YouTube name is so I know exactly who you are so I can shout you out properly, that would be great. But have a good night, you guys.